Good evening. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm hopping on here just a few minutes early to get the camera and everything set up. And so I can see it on my laptop so I can check on the comments. Oh, I even got... So I can see it on my laptop so I can check on the comments. Forgot to mute my microphone, sorry. If you're watching and you'd like to comment, that would be great. I'd love to see who's watching. I have a new product here from Stampin' Up! I just have about one more minute before it's 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So I'll just give a few more seconds here to see if anybody hops on and says hello. You know, we used to have the Stamparatus, but then due to some patent problems with the hinge, how that worked, it was retired, and now we've come up with this new system, which I'm thinking I like it just as much as the Stamparatus. I still have the Stamparatus, but I have been playing with this one so I can make myself familiar with some of the ideas about it. Okay, it says it's 6 o'clock, so I'm going to start. I'm Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri, and I'm so happy if you're joining me this evening to check out this new stamp positioner that we have. First, I want to tell you how you can receive this. If you're a demonstrator, you have till midnight tonight to order it for $49. If you're a customer and you join Stampin' Up! Between February 3rd and March the 2nd, you will receive this free in your startup kit. So you're going to pay $99, get $125 worth of product, plus this, which is a great product to have. And then sometime in the future, we don't know for sure when, it will be offered to all customers. But I can't really tell you when that's going to happen. So if you're really interested and you'd like to be a part of my team, just go ahead and comment below and let me know. So let's get started to see how this works. So first of all, we have this small plate here, and we're going to play with that in just a little bit. But we're going to start out with the big plate. It also comes with grid paper, like the Stamparatus did, and it has these little knobs here where you can fit it on this platform, and then it's not going to move because it's stuck on these little, I don't know what you call them, little bumps, like little pegs. That's what we'll call them. And these are the magnets. They're so much nicer than the other magnets we have because look, they stick together. They come apart without breaking. You have these little tabs right here that you can lift them off with, and they work fantastic. So let's just see what we could do with it. What do we want to start out with? We will start out with, let me show you some of these, and then I'll show you how I made them with this Stampin' Positioner. So we have this new set. It's called Address to You, and it's when you're $1 million sales achiever, you get to design your own stamp set, and this was designed by Sonia Schultz. So this was her stamp that she made when she got to her $1 million. So it's just to kind of decorate your envelope. So this is kind of an easy one here. I stamped it and I put some flowers in that corner. I used the rectangle and the balloons. I kind of messed up here because I accidentally dropped it and it made those faint lines. And then I colored in the balloons with some Stampin' Blends, and they don't come all the way through to the back, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, sometimes they bleed, but they're not going to bleed all the way to the back of the envelope. Here's again the flowers with the lines on the inside, and I colored those in with blends. And this one, I kind of got it on there crooked and everything, but we will try to redo this one straight. And I just put the happy birthday up here in the corner. And you know, there's lots of things you could do. You could just take these flowers and put them in the corners or on the back flap if you wanted to. These are snowflakes. And at Christmas time, you could say Happy Christmas. It's just a fun way to kind of add something to your envelopes. So I will show you how we're going to do this. So first of all, we're going to take an envelope. And I know that you can't see it very good on here, but there's this like triangle right here that allows you to put your paper or your envelope in there between these two pegs, and it will hold it there. And then you can add your magnets. Now I want to say that sometimes when we use a new stamp or one that's not inked, it really likes to stick to the paper. So we want to be sure that we're going to want to try to get that. Now it won't usually it doesn't after you get it inked. It likes to before it's inked. So I think the first thing we're going to do is try to do that happy birthday, but have it straighter this time. So I'm going to lay this here where I want it on the envelope. And let's see, it said happy birthday on it, didn't it? So let me find my birthday. Here's my birthday. And where's my happy? Yeah, this is my happy. So I'm going to kind of lay this up here in this corner. I think when I did it last time, I didn't account for it being at an angle. And that's what happened. See, it really likes to stick to my fingers too. Okay. And then we have happy. We're going to see if that will work there. And then we're going to say birthday. So let's put the birthday on first so we can tell exactly where we want it. And then we're going to put the happy right above it. I'm not sure how to get it, not to get it to stick to my nails. It's one of the hardest things. It loves to stick to my acrylic nails. See? That's why I have to be more careful when I'm trying these. Perhaps I need to get out my tweezers or something to place them. Because I want it down there as close as I can get it to the birthday. So that looks pretty good. So let's put our plate back on. Again, if you're here watching, if you could type me a comment, that would be great. So now we want the Stampin' Up! Logo to be at the bottom. At the top here, I don't know if you can see, but there's two holes. And they're going to fit on these two outside pegs that are kind of like little springs. And so they're going to fit right on there. And these are springs down here. And I'm just going to lightly press it down. And then I know it's going to kind of stick because I'm not inked. So I just want to get it up and flatten it back down to be sure that it's still up there in that triangle. Now I'm going to ink this up. Let's just use some Secret C. Or, no, let's use some. I don't have all these colors sitting here. How about Blueberry Bushel? That'll be a nice bright color for a birthday card. So we're going to ink this up. You could do it the other way, but I kind of just like doing it this way, upside down. Now, before, with the Stamparatus, see how I have this blue line? I don't know if you can see, but I have a blue line there from the stamp pad. With the Stamparatus, you had to be real careful because that line would stamp to your paper. But I found that it's not really a problem with this one. Now that I said that, it'll probably smudge on there, but it didn't earlier when I was practicing. And then you just lightly push, and then you lift it up. See how it, and I have my happy upside down. There's just something about this, trying to get this one right on an envelope, that I can't do. So we'll try again. And I'll try to get my happy the correct way. And perhaps after about 7 or 8 tries, I might get this figured out. So let's put happy on there the correct way. And we'll try one more time. Good thing I have like 500 envelopes because I just bought some envelopes. So I'm going to put it up here in the triangle. I'm going to put my magnets on. See, again, they came together. They still come together quickly if they're close to each other, but they're easy to get apart. Put this here and this here. And we're going to say that it's probably going to be really close to the same spot I had the other envelope, since I have it up there in the little triangle. We're going to ink it up again. And fingers crossed that we have all the words facing the correct way. We're going to turn it over. Take these 2 holes, put them up here on these 2 pegs. Let it rest on this peg. And then I'm just going to gently press down. And this time the happy birthday came out perfect. Now if I wanted to, I could also put the return address lines up here. So let's try that. Let me get out the return address lines. I probably should have did this at the same time, but I wasn't thinking. So we're going to put this up here. Now, since we haven't moved the envelope, even if we still have some blueberry bushel ink on our stamp, it should stamp right down on the same spot. So let's see how good it is. And I'm going to pick up that stamp there. Okay, now it moved a little bit, but I'll just put it back there. And I'm going to wipe off my other part, just to be sure that it doesn't, since my envelope moved just a little bit, I don't want to get a shadow. And I'm going to add some blueberry bushel to these lines here. Cross our fingers. I really got a lot of ink on this. It was the way I was holding it. And I'm just going to kind of push up here. And there we go. I got a little bit close to the top for your name, but you could always start your name here on the second line. So that would be how you could decorate your envelopes. You could also turn them this way if you wanted to, and put like the flowers or the balloons on the back. Now to clean it, I just have my chamois here, my purple chamois, which is no longer purple because I use it all the time. And I'm just going to wipe these off. It's kind of squeaky. Okay. We put these stamps, let me close this ink pad so that I don't stick my arm in it because I have a bad habit of doing that. And we're going to put these stamps away. Here's my happy. My lines. My rectangle. And my birthday. We'll close these up. And put these away. And again, I'll show you some that I made. So now we have a happy birthday one that came out straight on the envelope. We have this one with the flowers and the lines inside the oval. We have this one with the rectangle and some balloons. Here's one with the flowers on the other side of the oval, and that I didn't get colored in. So let's try something else with the new positioner. Let's try, this is a good thing. So let's, I have a very hard time when I have a die to cut out, lining it up with the die around it on the Stampin' Emboss machine. So I thought, what if I went ahead and die cut it out? I kept this piece so that I could position this in here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, just because you know how sticky the stamps can be when you first. I just want a little bit because I don't want it to be down there permanently. I just want to have enough so that if the stamp is sticky and it tries to pick it up. And I'm going to line this up here with this 2 1/4 line. I'm going to add the magnets. And I'm going to add this right here in the middle. Right inside the cutout. Now I'm going to take my Gallery Bloom stamp set. I'm going to get out that stamp. I'm going to move this just a little closer to me because I need to see it. I don't want to get my head too much into the picture because I want to be able to line this up as best I can with this. Now see, you could even do your greetings on your tags with this, with the same idea. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me there. We're going to put our top plate back on. We're going to gently push it down. We're going to cross our fingers so that it doesn't stick too much to the paper. But it's going to. Okay, well, that didn't really work out like I wanted it to. So let's try again. It did not do that to me the last time I did this. I'm not sure why my dog is barking. I think the people across the street are coming home. Okay. So we're going to try that again. This time I'm going to kind of rub the stamp maybe like on my jeans here. Just to maybe get off some of that stickiness. I'm going to get this back here in the right spot. I got this to, well, I tried 2 times and it didn't work. And then my 3rd time it worked when I was practicing. So we'll try again. We'll line this up as close as we can get it to the edge. Hey, Herbie, I think it's just the people across the street with the motorcycle. He likes to keep me informed of what's happening outside. Okay, we're going to cross our fingers and hope that that helps some. And I'm going to lift it up slowly. It's still kind of sticking. But that's okay because it didn't move the stencil part. So, we are going to see, what color do I have here? Oh, what color? How about some Pool Party? So I'm going to ink this up with the Pool Party. I'm going to move this up again so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to put these on these two posts. Lay it down. Let's see how good I could do. See how it doesn't stick when you have the ink on there. And I would say that I got that pretty good for my second try. Now I know it's going to be stuck here a little bit, but it should kind of just come right up. And like I said, I have a whole pad of the grid paper. Comes in like a little, I don't know, it's not a container, but it comes like Post-it notes do, so you could just tear one off. And you don't have to use a pad. I just don't want to get anything on my platform here. And there we have it. Now it's all perfectly cut out. And now if I wanted to, if I was making a lot of these, I could just keep that there, put the next one in, put the next one in. And it would work, especially after it already has ink on it. Okay, so we will put that over here. And let's see what else we could do. We can try this. How I positioned it around, and it would, like at Christmas, it would make a great wreath, but it makes a great place to put your greeting right there in the middle. And with the positioner, it makes it very easy. I just have to clean my stamps and put them away. If I don't put them away, I end up, they get stuck on something and I lose them, or I'm looking for them forever. So I'm going to put this one back. And I'm going to take out this corner one next. And we're going to try to see if we can do this same design. So this is a 4.5 by 4.5 square. And I was cutting out some paper and I had a 4 1/4 square, so I decided to try it with that. So what I'm going to do is put it up there in the corner again. And I'm going to add my magnets. I'm going to rub my stamp a little bit so it's not too sticky. I might have to move this magnet. And I'm going to put this one in this corner right here. And I'm going to put my plate back on. I'm going to pick it up. This is really fun. Oh, see how this is an older stamp that I've inked a lot. And it didn't bring it up at all. All right. We'll just go ahead and use Pool Party for this too. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to place it on the post. I'm going to stamp. Oh, see how I missed a little bit up there. So let me see if I have enough ink on the actual stamp to fix that. If not, I can ink it up again. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it to the next corner and put it up there in the triangle part. I want to get it exactly in the triangle. Put this here. Put this up here and put this one down here. We're going to ink it up again. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I do have pool party lines all around it from this stamp pad, and that's what I like about this over the Stamparatus, because if I had that on the Stamparatus, for sure those lines would have ended up on my paper. So now I'm going to put this one here. There we go. Then we're going to turn it around. And we're going to do the next corner. Fit it in there. Put the magnets back on. We know that we're going to be stamping in this corner, so I want to move that. I'm going to add some more ink. Going to fix it on the post. Stamp it. I really like how you could do this. You could do it with a lot of other, you could do it with Lidler flowers that didn't take up so much room, and then you might have to position them different times. Now we want to get this corner over here, so we're going to turn it this way. We're going to put our magnets on. We're going to ink it up. If anybody's watching and they want to say hello, that would be great. Let me know what you think about this new positioner. And there we go. Now we have a perfect circle, and we can put a greeting in the middle, put it on our card. We'd be ready to go. It's going to be great at Christmas time when we want to do some Christmas wreaths with different things. So let me clean up my stamp here and my plate. Now, what else can we do? Let's try some two-step stamping, because this way you can get everything lined up perfectly. I say perfectly. I always have to cross my fingers, because like with the one with the cutout piece, when I picked up the whole thing, that was not good. Hold on just 1 second, because now Herbie has found something to chew on. And it is just a piece of paper. Okay, I just want to be sure. He always finds the littlest piece of paper to chew on. And in my stamper room, he comes to my little trash can and takes pieces out when I'm not looking. All right, so let me show you this. Let me find it over here in my sample. I did, out of the Meant to Be set, I did a small bee. So now I want to put another small bee on here. So I am going to put my magnets on there. The first thing we're going to stamp is the body. So I'm going to get the body out. Now I'm going to tell you, when I stamped this body, then I stamped the black. I got it too far over, and so there was a blank spot there. So what I did was I put the body back on with the yellow, and I moved it that way just a little bit, and it filled it in there, so it doesn't even look like I missed a spot. So where should we put this one? Let's just put this one right here. So we're going to put our plate on the post, push, and lift. Now we're going to take our Daffodil Delight. I have a whole stack of stamp pads here. I was working on some other projects today. And I'm going to ink this up. And you know how sometimes you don't always get, when it's a solid stamp like this, it's hard to get the whole thing. So if it misses a spot, it's going to be easy to re-ink it. We're going to push this down. I hope I didn't put it too close to the other one to put its wings on. So there we go. We have the circle. So I'm going to clean this off. Put this away. If I was going to do a lot of these, I would just, you know, do one in different spots. Or if I was doing them on different papers, I would add in the next paper, and I know that it's lined up right on the 2-inch line. So I'm going to fix, on this one I try to put the face and the wings and everything on at the same time. Only, that's why I think I messed up the back, because they don't really fit close enough to try more than one at a time. And I wanted the wings to be right down on top of the body instead of up a little bit. So I'm going to fit this on here. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to close my Daffodil Delight. I'm going to get my Memento. Sorry for the reaching. Hi, Judy. I'm glad that you think it is pretty cool. Wait till you see the next thing I could do after this 2-step stamping with like making a line of the same words or images. Okay, back on the posts. Now look how I got that black. Let's see if it's going to come off when I stamp. Not that it's that big of a deal. When I had the stamp. Oh, see, still I messed that up. See how it doesn't have enough yellow reaching out there? But don't worry, we can fix that. I have to learn to line that up better. But I think I got, oh, and I got it nice and dark. Because sometimes the black is kind of hard. You get, it looks a little gray. Or it's not really dark. But that one did. So, let's put the body back on. And this time we're going to put the body go all the way back. Kind of just like where it was before, but just back a little bit further. If they didn't stick to my nails, I could do better. Okay. Put this on. Pick it up. Slowly bring it up. Daffodil Delight is right here. I'm going to put my lid on the Memento. Otherwise, I will have it on my elbow or something. Ink this back up. That was really my fault for not having it in the right place, and I did it twice. You'd think I would have learned after the first time. Okay, so now we're going to try this, but I can show you how to fix it, so that's one good thing. See? Now it fixed it, and you can't even tell. Clean off my plate. Now this time, I think we can do the face and the wings at the same time because they're not close to each other. So we're going to try that. These faces are so teeny. Okay, I'm going to try this face this time. I'm just going to try to get it in there. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then the small wings. Here they are. Oh, I'm glad that you got it, Judy. That's why I called you, just to let you know. Oh, this is going to be very close to the other bee, but I think we got it. All right, let's see if we can pick these two things up. You know, things work for me when I'm just practicing. Then when it comes to really doing one, so it messes up sometimes. So now we're going to put some Memento on the face. And we're going to put some Pool Party, which we know we have Pool Party here somewhere, because we already used it. Here it is. We're going to put Pool Party on the wings. Okay. We're going to flip this over. We're going to press. And you don't even really have to press that hard. And there we go. Another perfect bee with wings. Okay, so that's two-step stamping. Now let's see what we can do with this little plate. I'm going to clean this one off. And I'll set it over here. So let me show you what I did, and then I will show you how I did it. The first thing I did was I made these fresh freesia flowers. And I wanted I did these right next to each other, and then I wanted to see what happened if I skipped a peg. And then I got that one. So if you wanted one here and there, it's all to what you would like. So let's turn this piece over. And we will get our magnets on there. We'll find what color we want to use. Let's use fresh freesia again. Let me get the flower out of the other set. Let's try this little one this time. Just as something different. So we're going to lay it right here. We're kind of lining it up. This is a piece of paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, like a regular size card front. So I'm going to switch this. I'm going to put this right on the 1-inch line. And so now we want one right there. So we'll put on this little bitty positioner. Now, I'll tell you what, I made a mistake when I was trying to use this small positioner. I thought you were supposed to fit the pegs into these holes, but you don't. The Stampin' Up! Logo's down here. Up here are 2 holes right above these little knobs. So see, this is still going to be bouncy like it was with the larger plate. So now we're going to take these 2 holes and we're going to hook them up there. We're going to press. We're going to pick it up. And we decided to use fresh freesia, which is right here. I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to hook it back up to those 2 posts again. And I'm going to stamp. Now I want, you could do these like in different colors, different things like that. But it's going to make them perfectly spaced. So next, I was on these 2. Now I'm going to go for, if I go for this one and this one, I think it's going to put them too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over here to this one. But you can decide if you want them to be close, it's just the leaves would be touching. Oh, look, I didn't get that one stamped all the way, so let's try again. Maybe I need some more ink. Oh, no, there we go. I had enough ink in there, so now we're going to go to this last peg here. We're going to ink it again. But see how you could space things out? And you could even do different flowers with this, you know, change the, put your next flower on or change colors. We're going to put it on these two pegs, and we're going to, and we're going to throw it on the floor. So there we go. We have 3 in a row there. Now, if I wanted to, I could come through with a different stamp and do it maybe like in between them. Let me think, what do I have that I could go in between them with? I could go in between them with this little one maybe. We'll just try it as something different. So we want this to go in the middle here. I don't know what this is going to look like, but just trying something different. So we're going to put our Stampin' Up! Logo at the bottom. It looks like we need to hook it up to these two. And we're going to pick it. I forgot to put my magnets on there. I do need my magnets. I have it pressed up against these little posts at the top. That's how I know how the top is supposed to be. And the sides are at right on the line they were at before. Okay, so let's do a different color. Let's do real red. I just re-inked my real red, so it's very dark. I don't know if maybe my re-inker is very old. And so that might have been my problem. Or maybe when I used it the other day, it hadn't had time to soak in good. But it came out looking... Now, this doesn't look like it. Yes, here it goes. It's going to be right between those two, if I got it lined up correctly. There we go. And then we can ink it again. And this time we'll put it on these two posts. If I can find my hooks. There we go. Now look at that. It's a great way to do some different designing with your stamps. All right, I have one more thing to show you, and it's kind of my favorite. I don't know, I like them all. I've been having fun playing with this all weekend. Let me just get my stamps put away. Lately, I have just been like laying them on an ink pad or something, but I've lost 2 recently of my stamps by doing that. So I'm trying to be more efficient and organized and put them away when I use them. So the next thing we're going to try is we're going to try to put words all the way down the side. So we're going to lay, this paper is a little bit longer. This was just a piece of scrap paper, and it is only 4.5 by 4. But this is 4 by 5 1/4, like a regular card front. So I'm going to fix it. I like doing it kind of when it's right up against these pegs. Then that way if it moves a little bit, I can know I just have to press it up to the pegs and get it on this line right here. So we'll make it be red, and Let's see, what kind of blue do we have over here? I have the blueberry bushel. I hardly ever use blueberry bushel, but I was using it for something today. And it's already laying out. All right. So we're going to take the happy birthday out of this special moments stamp set with happy birthday right up here. As you can tell, I use this happy birthday a lot. I like this font and everything, and it's a good size. So now I'm going to put this right in the middle. So I have, it's 5 1/4. So the middle would be 3/4. I'm just thinking in my head, 6/8. Okay, so it's 2 7/8 would be the middle. If you made this be 5 instead of 5 1/4, then your middle would be 2 3/4. That would be a little bit easier to figure out. But, so I have 1, I have 2, and I know I don't, that is, oh, 2 3/4. So 1, 2, 2 3/4. That still doesn't look like the middle, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway would be 2 1/2. 1. Here's the halfway. I don't know what's wrong with my math. But we're going to eyeball it and say this is the middle. All right, we want it straight. And then we're going to take our small positioner, which I laid somewhere. Oh, here it is, right here. Does that ever happen to you? It's like laying right in front of your face, and you don't see it. And we're going to use the real red ink, and we're going to take our positioner, and we're going to place it on these 2 knobs, and it's okay that it's way up on the top like that. It'll be fine. I'm going to hold this down, take it off, and I'm going to do red. And since I just inked my red, I'm getting it all over the positioner. Then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go right back to where I was. We decided that this was the halfway point. And there's the happy birthday. And look at how it didn't get any of the red. So now I'm going to do it again in red. And I'm just going to change one of these magnets to be up here. And I'm going to go down a peg. And I'm going to go right there. Then I have one more. I think it's going to fit on there, so let me ink it up again. And I'm going to fit this on the pegs. And I'm going to say, happy birthday. Now I'm going to go up. Ink it again. Put it on the 2 pegs. Oh, nope, these 2. Oh, I saved it. I didn't let it touch. Okay, these 2 pegs. Stamp happy birthday. And then I'm going to do one more peg at the very top. Oh, I didn't get the top. There we go. It gives you a very nice crisp stamp too, don't you think? All right, we're gonna clean this real red off here because we made such a mess with it. And we're cleaning the stamp too because we're gonna move the stamp so it will stamp right in between those. I got way too much red on this. That's what happens when you re-ink your stamp pads. For the first couple of times you use them, they're really inky. So I'm going to try to get all the red off this happy birthday. I want to kind of let it dry a little bit so I don't leave a shadow mark. And I'm going to put it that I want it to go in between these birthdays, so I'm going to lay it right there. That looks pretty close to being between them. Gonna put this on the pegs. I'm gonna pick it up, hold my paper a little bit, do my blueberry bushel, put my pegs up, stamp. Oh, I didn't get the day. Very good. So see, I just put this back on. No need to get another whole piece of paper. There I go. Think of how many times you have to do your greetings over and over. I do sometimes when I do that, when I mess them up and I can't line them up exactly right again. If I got this out, every time I could have it perfect. So I'm going to put this one here. Just a few more, we'll be done. I really like this. Okay, we're going to leave that magnet there because these magnets are pretty flat. I don't think that they bother the height as much as the Stamparatus ones did. So this one might go off the paper just a little, and that's okay. Oh, it didn't. It fit right in there. Now we just have these two. So we're going to leave that. I'm not going to leave that magnet there because I'll get blue on it. I'm going to move it up just a little. Stamp this one. One more. Can we get one more to work correctly, and then we'll have a whole card of happy birthdays. There we go. And if we wanted to, we could do one more at the top that would kind of hang off. But I think that's okay with me, that we have just a little bit of a border, more of a border up there. Or I could always trim my card front down a fourth of an inch. So there you have it, the new Stampin' Positioner. And all the different things you could do with it. You can put flowers in a row. You can put flowers and skip a spot. You can do happy birthdays. You can make bees or two-step stamping. You can make some envelopes with an upside-down happy birthday. But we did have one with the right side up birthday. And then we have make a wreath or a circle. Or if you wanted to, you could just put one in each corner. You could also put these in the corner of your envelopes. Let me get out some of my envelopes. They got kind of buried here. Here's my sideways happy birthday. I'm not sure where. Here they are. I just because I have some more samples. Here's the sample with the flowers, with the balloons, with the flowers colored in. And here's the happy birthday that worked out correctly. And just so you remember that even though I'm using the blends, they didn't go through to the back of the envelope on either one. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and thanks for joining me in the new Stampin' Positioner. Bye.